But a big mistake I made when I first got here, honestly, I still kind of make it sometimes, and one that I see, honestly, the majority of people make. Let's just say I might be the smartest idiot you've ever met in your life. When I first got to Thailand, dear God, did I make some mistakes. Luckily for you, on this channel, I make mistakes so you don't have to. In today's video, we are going over the top mistakes I've made, I've seen, so that way when you come to Thailand, you're ready to go and you don't have to deal with the amount of nonsense that I have. I'm Ian, you are watching Tempus TV. Let's do it. Now this first mistake, I don't really think that I personally made, but I see it all the time, especially on the internet when I'm out and about. And that's just making absolutely zero effort to even attempt to understand Thai cultural norms. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be fluent in Thai before you get here, but please try to learn at least some of the things that might be offensive to Thai people, how you can be respectful. Thai people are super nice and rarely confrontational, so you might be doing something that's pretty offensive and you might not have anybody come up and say it to you. But just because you're not being confronted doesn't mean that you're not making people uncomfortable or being disrespectful. When it comes to Thai people, for the most part, they're very chill and understanding that you're a foreigner and you're not gonna know everything when you get here. But there's a select few things that they really don't like, and it could go both ways. It might be that nobody ever says anything, or you could get into a pretty serious confrontation. So don't be a tool. Before you get here, take an hour and try to learn what some of those things are. Now, kind of piggybacking off of that, our next point, so I would say about 95% of Thai people, I mean, all of them that I've met personally, but of course you see stuff around, but about 95% I think are genuinely good people and can for sure be trusted. But I do see a lot of people, and I've caught myself kind of doing it too, just kind of putting yourself in situations where you're leaning on that, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. When it comes to things like theft or, assault, things like that, violent crime type stuff, your odds of having that happen to you from a Thai person is tiny. In all reality, if you're in Thailand, the only time you really need to worry about that is from other foreigners. But that does not mean that there isn't a very select few and a group of people that will 100% take advantage if given the opportunity. It may sound kind of maniacal, but I honestly just feel like the best practice to have is just kind of assuming the worst when it comes to people, even though when it comes to Thais, that's never really gonna be the case, but it never hurts to be safe. Now this next one, I'm sure a lot of you guys could have guessed we were gonna talk about it at some point, and it has to do with relationships. Guys, lots of mistakes being made. And don't get me wrong, I'm not high horsing you. A lot of this is coming from my own experience as well. Now, just like with the whole crime stuff, I think the odds of meeting somebody that's do everything they can to take advantage of you is relatively small. But with that said, I see so many guys that land in Thailand, they're here for a month, and then all of a sudden they met a girl 3 days ago and now she's moving in with them. A lot of the time that's just gonna be a bad idea. And from my own personal experience, it's very important to be honest with yourself about where you're meeting these people. I always say, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. If you meet this person that's in this specific group of people doing these specific things, the odds of them being different, being the one outlier, come on. Thailand, just like anywhere else in the world, when it comes to relationships, it's very important to protect yourself. Now, this situation could be a whole video on its own, and luckily, I've already done that for you. So if you wanna know more about protecting yourself as a man in Thailand, feel free to hop back a few videos in the catalog. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the title. Make sure you watch that. I'm not wholly confident that this fork is clean. Our next point, 100% comes from my own experience. And this mistake that I see a lot of people make is you come to Thailand for the first time, you pick the place you want to go, you end up there, you spend a few weeks there, and that's the only place you ever go. Or you move to Thailand, you move to one place without really looking around, and you just stay there, and this gives you your whole perspective on Thailand. I have seen so many videos of people that come to Thailand, they stay in Phuket for 2 or 3 weeks, they don't enjoy their experience, and then they're hopping online telling people, oh, Thailand this, and I don't like that, and Thailand's like this. no matter where you end up, whether it be Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai, every one of those places has their own experiences and has their own unique lifestyle, in my opinion. Now, especially if you're planning on moving to Thailand or maybe just taking like an extended vacation, you're gonna stay here for a while. I always recommend to everybody, if you're not positive of where you wanna go, take 2 or 3 weeks and go spend 3, 4, 5 days in each one of these places that you might be considering. Because honestly, you're probably really gonna be surprised by some places, whether that be you enjoy it more or you end up not enjoying it. Now, when I was coming to Thailand, I had my own specific criteria that I was looking for when it came to where I was gonna choose to live. And Pattaya definitely checked most of those boxes, but I didn't do enough research and look around and see that there are quite a few other places that would have worked just as well. And now everyone talks about how budget friendly Thailand is, which is absolutely true. But a big mistake I made when I first got here, honestly, I still kind of make it sometimes, and one that I see, honestly, the majority of people make, is thinking that things are cheaper than they really are. Now, don't get me wrong, it's completely unavoidable, but when you first get here, you're gonna be comparing the prices on everything to home, which is totally normal. But especially if you're gonna spend some time here, it's really important to gauge how much you're spending in the scheme of Thailand. If you go to a bar, you order a beer, it's 200 baht. Is that probably cheaper than your home country, especially if you came from the West? For sure. But as far as Thailand standards go, that's really expensive. And if you are constantly just comparing to home, you're gonna end up in this cyclone of, oh, well, it's so cheap, and you really end up spending more. So it doesn't end up being cheaper. Both sides of the spectrum are available in Thailand. If you wanna be super budget friendly, and keep a tight knit on your finances, you can totally do that. But at the same time, you can go the complete other direction and spend a ton of money if you're not paying attention to it. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people land in Thailand and they're planning on staying here for an extended period. They've got some savings and then they commit to a place that might be out of their budget, whether it be food, housing. You have to really keep yourself honest. And I honestly do get a lot of flack sometimes because people are like, oh, you're so cheap. And like, oh, it's only 200 baht compared to 100 baht. It's just like, the way I look at it is nobody ever got rich by wasting money. Why would you pay double for something if you don't have to? The almighty Thailand nightlife. Now, this is a big attractor for a lot of people coming here. And when it comes to this, I see a lot of mistakes. Jesus, I have made quite a few myself. But if I had to pick the biggest one, the kind of downfall spiral I see a lot of people get into when it comes to nightlife, is just getting lost in the sauce. And I think that's really easy to do in Thailand for 2 main reasons. One, how budget friendly it is, like we talked about. You can go out here and have a great night for $100. And that's going to like a nightclub, bottle service, just the availability and the amount of party you can have for a very minuscule amount, especially compared to America. It's honestly pretty wild. But an even bigger contributing factor, in my opinion, when you're in America, I assume it's probably the same in Europe, everybody is kind of waiting for the weekend, right? Like the clubs and most of those places are empty during the weekdays if they're even open. And when it comes to Thailand, that is not the case at all, minus a very few select holidays. And even then you can still find some places, minus a very select few days throughout the year, there is always a party. There is always somewhere to go. There's always a bar open. There's always a club. There's always music. There's always people partying on the beach. So there's never really like a designated time off. So if you're just going full tilt, you're spending money, there's a party always available. It can be really easy to kind of turn around and be like, oh wow, I've been partying almost every day for months. And of course, this is detrimental for a multitude of reasons. It's not good for your health. You're gonna be blowing through your money. And a big risk, in my opinion, when it comes to partying and drinking, I don't know about you, but I know with me, if I'm drinking, my decision-making skills just continually go down. Now, if you just go out every once in a while, the odds are in your favor that things are probably gonna be fine. You're gonna go out, you're gonna drink, you're gonna get a taxi home, no big deal. But if you're consistently out, if you're out almost every single night, multiple times a week, whatever, you are essentially just shooting the dice, in my opinion. The chances of something happening, whether it be a bad decision on your part, whether you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, the more you go out, the more you're inebriated, the more your decision-making skills are in the gutter. You are just taking massive risks, especially when you're a foreigner in a new country, and in all reality, you don't really know what the deal is, and you are especially vulnerable when you've been drinking. So in conclusion, don't be like me. Get a hold on these things before you get here. Know what to expect. Keep an eye on your finances. Don't live at the bar. Don't move some girl in that you met 3 days ago. I think for a lot of people, these probably all seem like common sense type things, but let's be honest, common sense isn't so common anymore. And I'm continued to be surprised by the amount of people that I see make these mistakes, myself included. When I got here, I was starry-eyed, you know what I mean? And even if you're moving here, those first few months, it's an adjustment period. You don't really know what the hell is going on, so you're kind of just going through the ringer. But if you avoid these things, it'll save you some money, it'll probably save you some girl drama, and it will be much easier to keep yourself out of trouble. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. We are reined in today. I'm going a little bit stir crazy. It's that time of year in Thailand, but what can you do? If you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more from Thailand, feel free to drop a like, go down, subscribe. That way you can be updated every time we upload a new video. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next one.